Hi, everybody, and welcome in as we get ready for playoff baseball here from Cougar Field. The play-in round getting underway here on a Tuesday afternoon in Santa Clarita. The 17-seed Cerro Coso Coyotes in town to take on the 16-seed College of the Canyons Cougars. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Robinson. Welcome in. Glad to have you along, as always, with us here on the Cougar Sports Network. What we think is going to be our final webcast of the season, barring some craziness in the softball and the baseball world, as it's playoff time here today. COC getting in at 20-20, played an extra game on Saturday, beat Pierce College, got themselves to 500, and secured themselves a playoff spot today. For Chris Cota's squad, they were fourth or tied for second, but sitting in fourth according to the website in the Western States Conference South Division, 8 games back of Glendale, who actually picked up the 2 seed in the CCCAA playoffs this year. But the Cougars at 20-20, 11-8 here at home, 12-9 in conference play, getting to get a spot in the playoffs. Cerro Coso this year, 24-16 on the season. Second in the Inland Empire Athletic Conference this year. And they've won their last 3, so both of these two teams have won the last couple of games out. For Cerro Coso today, the lineup, Michael Dord will start in right field, then Jackson Holzem will start at the designated hitter spot. Johnny McHenry in the 3 spot, the shortstop today. Danny Jimenez batting in the 4 spot, playing first. Brett Olmo, the center fielder, in the 5 spot. Hunter Bagshaw in the 6 spot, playing third. Brooks Scott, the catcher, in the 7 spot. Dominic Lopez in the 8 spot at second base. And Casey Boshenzak in left field to round out the lineup, as Brandon Whiting will go to the mound for Chris Cota's squad today. Whiting 4-2 on the year with a 4.81 ERA and 43 even innings pitched. Has given up 47 hits in those 43 innings. As we are underway, first pitch swung on and missed by Dorr, and we are underway. Justice Scott, the head coach in his 8th year of Cerro Coso, has his team in the playoffs once again at 24-16 this year. Chris Cota in his 22nd year as the head coach of COC, finding the playoffs once again in a very tough Western States Conference South Division this year, which had 3 teams in the playoffs. As Dorr, on the second pitch of the ball game, has a leadoff single, and Jackson Holzem will step in, the .333 hitter on the year, with a home run and 23 runs batted in from the right side of the plate to face Whiting with a runner on. So a good start for Cerro Coso. First batter of the ball game, second pitch of the ball game, and he finds his way on. And for the Cougars, it's been a tough run on the pitching mound this year. Whiting getting the start here today. It's his 10th start of the season, but COC, it's just been a struggle in terms of pitching this season. As you look down the line for the Cougars this year, it's just not been above average, as the ERA as a unit this year, 7.04. They've given up 445 hits coming into the game during the regular season, 316 runs allowed during the regular season, 264 total earned runs on the year. The walks and the strikeouts have been decent. Walks 180, strikeouts 223, so not bad in terms of those numbers. It's just been a rough slog for the Cougar pitching staff, though, this year. You look at the opponent's batting average against, 324 as a walk, and holds them on. So the first 2 batters find the base pass. And now Johnny McHenry, who's batting a whopping .415 on the year with 9 home runs and 49 runs batted in, steps in to face Whiting. Talking about the Cougars this year, as we said, 324 average against, that's near the bottom half of the state, bottom third of the state, really. The earned run average, 68th in the state at 7.04, and it's just been tough. As this one on the ground, picked up by Kane at first, to second for 1, back to first, Whiting over to cover a double play. So Whiting gets McHenry to ground into the 3-6-1 double play. 2 quick outs in the inning as Dorr moves up to third, and the defense showing up early as Doyle Kane over at first base starts it off, and the Cougars now have 2 outs here in the inning. So the 3-6-1 double play, 3-6 for the first out to get Holzum. Second out of the inning is McHenry. Defensively for the Cougars, Doyle Kane at first, Alex Ballesteros at second, Mikey Kane, the shortstop, Andy Ambrose at third, Ryan Camacho in center, Ryan Camacho in left, Jovan Camacho in center, and Rowan Turan, who's worked his way into the lineup over the last 2 weeks of the season, starting in right once again with DJ Cougar behind the plate, working as the battery along with Brandon Whiting. As that pitch misses down, as Jimenez standing in. Jimenez this year batting .352 on the season. 45 hits, 26 runs scored, has a home run and 30 runs batted in as he bats with a runner at third base and 2 away here in the first inning for Cerro Coso. Whiting's pitch on the outside corner for a called strike makes it 2-1. Bob Williams, the home plate umpire today. Jim Sayer, the first base umpire. David Harrison, the third baseline umpire in the ball game today. 3 umpires in the playoffs, at least in the opening couple of rounds. Eventually it'll move up to 4, I believe, in the 3C2As. This one hit deep to left center field, way back towards the wall. It'll get off the top of the wall. 1 run will come home. Jimenez digging for second base will round and go in standing up with an RBI double, and Cerro Coso has a 1-0 lead on a deep fly ball from Danny Jimenez off the left center field wall.
Batting fifth, number 27, fielder Brent Olmo.
So Jimenez gives it a ride and came about 1.5 feet away from leaving the ballpark, making it a 2-0 game. Instead, it'll be 1-0, and Olmo will step in. Brent Olmo this year, .399 hitter, 4 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Working with a runner in scoring position after the RBI double from Danny Jimenez. Ball travels pretty well here at Cougar Field. A lot of home runs this season. The Cougars have been aided by that a few times this year. As this one chopped towards first, Kane will pick it up and take it himself, and that'll end the inning. But an RBI double from Jimenez with 2 away, and Cerro Coso has a 1-0 lead. We'll step aside. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 left on at the end of a half an inning. 1-0 Cerro Coso. College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now. Home half of the first coming up. Cougars trailing 1-0 as Chris Cotto will send the following lineup to the plate today to try and get the Cougars into the first round of the playoffs, as this is a regional play-in game. Ryan Camacho to lead things off, the left fielder. Then Tafton Hensley in the designated hitter spot, batting second. Doyle Kane in the 3 spot, the first baseman. DJ Cougar, the catcher, batting in the cleanup spot. Andy Ambrose in the 5 spot. Mikey Kane moving all the way down to the 6 spot today, the shortstop. It's been in a little bit of a slump lately, but gets to move down the lineup, maybe protected a little bit more. Then Alex Ballesteros, the second baseman in the 7th spot. Rowan Turan, as we talked about, has worked his way into the lineup as of late. Is now hitting above .300 on the year, batting in the 8th spot. Then Jovan Camacho to round things out, the center fielder in the 9th spot for Chris Cotto's squad. For Justice Scott, Peyton Sutherland will head to the mound today. 3-1 on the year. This will be his 7th start of the season. A 4.21 earned run average and 36 1/3 innings pitched. Has given up 32 hits, 17 earned runs. Walked 21 and struck out 21 this year. As defensively for Cerro Coso, Jimenez at first, Lopez at second, McHenry at short, Bagshaw the third baseman, Boshenzak the left fielder, Olmo in center, Dewar in right, and Scott behind the dish, working along with Sutherland as the battery in today's ball game. As Ryan Camacho will lead things off for COC. Camacho 304 on the year, 51 hits, 3 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Has become a fixture in the COC lineup since just about the beginning of the year. Camacho was on the bench for the first couple of games and has pretty much started the rest of the way for COC. In his last 5 games, has 6 hits. Went 0 for 4 in the loss to Bakersfield 4-3, but had a hit and 5 at-bats in the final game of the year against Bakersfield in a 10-8 win. No record yet for L.A. Pierce College game, so we don't really know. As the first pitch from Sutherland was over for a strike. The next pitch misses away, and the count is even at 1-1. That one nearly catches Camacho on the arm, but he's able to move away, and it'll make the count 2-1 strike. Camacho, as we said, has become a fixture in the lineup this year. It's really been interesting with Camacho this season. Started the year on the bench as a two-sport athlete, so he kind of came over a little bit late for COC, as he was playing football this year for the Cougars. Him and his brother, both two-sport athletes, and has just battled his way into the lineup to a point where Chris Cota really has no choices. This one chopped towards short. Going to be a tough play for McHenry. Scoops it up on a hop and throws out Camacho for the first out here of the home half of the first inning. So one away, and Tafton Hensley stepping in. Little change in the lineup today with Hensley in the 2 spot, maybe trying to get him to the plate a couple of more times. Hensley this year, 14 home runs on the season, batting .363 with 48 runs batted in. For Taft this year, you talk about a guy that's really come on, and as of late, he's found the bat, found the power. Over the last 8 games of the year, has 6 home runs, and when you look at the numbers, near the top of the state of California in home runs this year with those 14, has just been a powerhouse in the middle of the lineup for COC this season. As he swings and hits that one in the air. Playable in center field for Olmo, but he drifted back, trying to backpedal, and it gets over his head, and Hensley into second base. And the Cougars have a runner aboard in scoring position. We'll give Tafton Hensley a double on that one, as Olmo misplayed it coming in initially, and it got over his head. So a 1-out double for Tafton Hensley. His first hit of the playoffs, the first hit for the Cougars of the ball game. And Doyle Kane will step in, batting .348 on the year with 55 hits, 2 home runs, and 34 runs batted in this year for Doyle Kane. Doyle has been in the lineup pretty much all season long. He and Mikey missed the first 4 games of the year, the brothers, but since then have just, like we said, been fixtures in the lineup for Chris Cota's squad, and no reason why not, the way those two have played. Doyle has really come on late in the year, started to drive the ball well as he hits that one a little flared out to right field. That'll get down for a base hit. They're going to try and score Tafton Hensley from second. He will get there easily. Doyle in with a stand-up double as he trades places with Tafton Hensley, and the Cougars have tied the game at 1 here in the first. So back-to-back doubles from Hensley and Doyle Kane, and COC is even the game at 1-all. And DJ Cougar will step in. So the start you wanted from COC on the offensive side, and that's not been a problem this year for the Cougars. 3rd in the state in home runs with 45 during the regular season. 21st in runs batted in with 280. 22nd in hits with 240 or 426 as my dyslexia kicks in. The slugging percentage has been rather good as well. 473, which is 13th best in the state of California. So certainly the Cougars have shown this year the offense can hit with just about anybody in the state, as they've evened the game at 1-all on back-to-back doubles from Hensley and Doyle Kane. DJ Cougar this year batting .301, 37 hits, 4 home runs, 21 runs batted in for COC. So we thank you for joining us here in the home half of the first inning. 1-1 the score, COC and Cerro Coso. The Coyotes got an RBI double from Jimenez with 2 away. The Cougars come back with back-to-back doubles with 1 out from Hensley and Kane if you're just joining us. And we're even at 1-all. 1 ball and 2 strikes actually the count to DJ Cougar as he swings and chops this one up the middle. That'll get through for a base hit as Lopez slipped on the dirt. Kane going to score easily as Olmo kind of kicked it around out in center field. And an RBI single for DJ Cougar, and the Cougars take their first lead of the ball game. 3 straight hits off of Sutherland here in the first. So the offense humming here early on, and Andy Ambrose will try and keep things going. Ambrose this year batting .331 with 6 home runs and 41 runs batted in. And like we said, you talk about the Cougars this year in terms of the offensive side as that one gets back to the screen. A wild pitch from Sutherland. And moving ahead to second base is DJ Cougar. So the Cougars offense getting some help from Cerro Coso here in the first. As now Ambrose has a runner in scoring position with a 1 away. As he'll go back to work. That pitch over for a strike, evens the count at 1-1. We talked about the Cougars this year. The offense has clicked. 3rd in the state in home runs. Some of that aided by playing here at Cougar Field, which plays smaller than it really is. 385 to center field, 330, I believe, down the lines. But the ball really does travel well here at Cougar Field. As Ambrose takes a strike and the count is 1-2. He hits this one in the air out into right field. That'll get down for a base hit in front of Dorr. They're going to hold Cougar at third base, so it'll split runners on the corners here with 1 away for Mikey Kane. 4 straight hits for the Cougars after the opening ground out from Ryan Camacho. Back-to-back doubles, then back-to-back singles, and a 2-1 lead. Here steps in Mikey Kane. 314 on the year, has cooled off a bit as of late. At one point, Mikey had a 15-plus game hitting streak. It's cooled off in the later half of the year, but still has 7 home runs, 39 runs batted in. As he goes to work and takes a called strike. Pitch misses down and away. Kane this year, 4 triples on the season, 26th in the state, top 40 in the state in home runs. The only guy beating him on the team is Tafton Hensley. We talked about Tafton with his 14 this year. Now that we have a chance to kind of look it up as that pitch misses down. Ambrose is going to stay at first. It was a good block behind the plate by Scott to keep everybody still. Talking about Tafton Hensley with 15 home runs now, actually. The stat's not quite updated. Guess he had one yesterday. 1st in the state in home runs. He's 2nd in the conference with 9 this year. So the long ball has really aided the Cougars this season. Sutherland going to keep an eye on Ambrose over at first base. Ambrose not really a guy known to run a lot. The Cougars really not a team that's known to run a lot. That's not really in their playbook this year. As a unit for COC, just 36 stolen bases as Kane fouls this one off to the right, and it evens the count at 2-2. Only Jovan Camacho and Tafton Hensley with 5 or more stolen bases on the year. Camacho with 7. Tafton, a guy 14 home runs, 15 stolen bases on the year. Double check his numbers here. I think maybe we're missing something. So a 15-15 guy. So the count 3-2 here to Mikey Kane with 1 away. We'll see if Ambrose goes in motion. He'll stay put. The 3-2 pitch lifted in the air on the right side and playable. Back of the first base bag. Lopez drifting over, and he won't be able to make the catch as it falls in foul ground. So Mikey Kane gets new life. Probably would have scored DJ Cougar from 3rd had it landed in fair territory or even been caught by Lopez, as he was kind of drifting back over his left shoulder and just kind of whiffed it trying to make the play. And I think got lucky it landed in foul ground. So new life for Mikey Kane on a 3-2 pitch. So we'll reset and do it again with runners on the corners here in the first inning. Cougars with a 2-1 lead. 3-2 on the way. Kane lifts it in the air towards shallow left center field. Cougar was not tagging, and he'll just drift back. So Kane out on a fly ball, 2 away. It'll keep runners at the corners. A little too shallow to get DJ Cougar home from 3rd.
Batting 7th, number 12, infielder Alex Ballesteros.
So 2 down for Alex Ballesteros. Batting .255 on the year with 3 home runs and 27 runs batted in. And it's just amazing. You look at the lineup, everybody in the Cougar lineup this year with a home, or today with a home run. And everybody but Turan and Jovan Camacho with multiple home runs. Ballesteros with 3, as we said. Kane with 7, Ambrose with 6, Cogar with 4, Doyle Kane with 2. Ryan Camacho even adding 3, and then Taft and Hensley, of course, the big bat with 14, as that one ripped into center field for a base hit by Ballesteros. That'll bring home a run. The Cougars take a 3-1 lead here in the first on an RBI single from Alex Ballesteros on a sharply hit ball to center field. So the offense comes in humming.
Number 8, fielder Rowan Turan.
That'll bring Rowan Turan to the plate. Turan has worked his way into the lineup, batting .333 with a home run and 10 runs batted in. First pitch swinging, a chopper towards short. Picked up by McHenry, fires it over to first, and that'll end the first inning. But the Cougars get 4 straight hits in the inning, leading to a couple of runs, and then the RBI single from Alex Ballesteros just a few moments ago. 3-1 COC as we head to the second here from Cougar Field.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
So an excellent start for the Cougs in the first. The offense humming, 3 runs, and now they've spotted Brandon Whiting, a couple of run leads, so he can try and settle himself back in as he faces a very good lineup from Cerro Coso this year. We talked a lot about the COC offense. Cerro Coso's been just as good. 5th in the state in doubles this year with 102. 8th in the state in hits, 471. 13th in runs driven in, 306. Top 25 in triples and home runs with 16 in each of those categories. So, I mean, it's been a really good offense as Brent Olmos stands, or excuse me, Hunter Bagshaw stands in. Bagshaw, 299 on the year with a home run and 20 runs batted in. .44 hits on the season for Bagshaw as he hits this one, a one-hopper that goes over the head of Ballesteros. Alex bent down to try and make the play, and it just took a huge hop off the grass and went right over the top of his head. A sharply hit ball from Bagshaw. So the leadoff runner aboard for the second straight inning for Cerro Coso, as Brooks Scott, the catcher, batting in the 7th spot, will step in. Scott, .319 with 7 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Second on the team in home runs this year with those 7. McHenry with 9 leading the way. One of only 4 Cerro Coso Coyotes with multiple home runs this year. Olmo and Dorr have 4 and 3 respectively. Just a few more guys with 1, but still you talk about 16 home runs this year, get you in the top 25. Pretty solid year all around for the Cerro Coso offense, as that pitch was fouled away. Makes it 0-2 here to Scott. As Whiting delivers a breaking ball over for strike 2 and actually makes it 1-2. Scoreboard cheated us there a little bit, so 1-2 count. Whiting not going to overpower you on the bump. Guy that's kind of a junk baller, going to throw a lot of off-speed pitches, try and locate in the zone, make it tough on opposing hitters. As it's hard to put balls deep off him, but this one hit deep out to left center field. Drifting over to make the catch on the run is Jovan Camacho, and he takes away extra bases from Brooks Scott Maybe got under it just a touch. One away. We talked about the Camachos being two-sport athletes, flashing their speed. Both were cornerbacks on the football team. I think actually Jovan might have been a safety. Either way, both defensive backfield players flash plenty of speed, and you see it there as that was an easy play for Jovan, just playing center field, drifting over and making the catches. This one on the first pitch, hit out into center field by Dominic Lopez, a base hit. And it'll put 2 on and 1 away for Casey Bozenchak, or Boshenzak. Let me get that right. Boshenzak here in the 9 spot.
Batting ninth, number 25, infielder Casey Boshenzak.
Boshenzak this year, 400, 1 home run, 10 runs batted in. Trying to read things fast does not work for me, as we apologize to Casey. But he's had a good year, 20 hits, 15 runs scored. A .580 slugging percentage this year for Casey as he bats in the 9 spot, playing left field. Takes the first pitch, a breaking ball up in the zone. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. We'll see how short the leash is for Whiting today. Cougars have had to go deep in the bullpen a lot this year. And already looks like some bodies moving out towards the bullpen. Is this one hit in the air in center field and deep, drifting back as Camacho towards the wall will make the catch. Not tagging at second base was Bagshaw, so he'll have to retreat. And a deep fly ball just allowed out, 2 away.
Number 10, right fielder Michael Dorr.
I'll bring Michael Dorr back to the plate. Singled and scored in the first. Out to the bullpen for COC is Malachi Correll, getting himself loose. First pitch swinging his Dorr, misses a breaking ball down to his feet. He's behind in the count, 0-1. Cougars not wasting any time, making sure they have somebody ready to go in the bullpen. As clearly seems like a short leash for Brendan Whiting. Is that pitch over for a strike? And if you're Chris Cota, you'd like for Whiting to just get out of this without any trouble, and maybe you can extend him into a third. Kyle Kopp also moving down that way. Not sure if he's getting stretched out and loose. It's only Correll up on the rubber throwing, and he's working quickly to try and get himself ready to go. So this might be the end of the day for Whiting. We'll have to wait and see. So we wait on the 1-2 pitch to Dorr. Whiting delivers. This one hit on a one-hopper towards first. Doyle Kane will pick it up, runs to first himself, and that'll end the inning. So a pair of singles and nothing else, as Whiting gets out of some trouble. 3-1 COC as we head to the home half of the second here from Cougar Field.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Home half of the second we go. 3-1 in favor of COC as Sutherland will face Camacho, and Hensley.
Leading off for the Cougars and batting ninth, number 4, center fielder Jovan Camacho.
Sounds like a bit of a law firm, Camacho, and Hensley. As Jovan will step in, 277 on the year, a home run, 16 runs batted in. As he'll try and work as a leadoff hitter here against Sutherland off the left-hand side of the plate. Sutherland immediately steps off, was uncomfortable, and now we'll go back to work. See Sutherland, it might be hard for you to see on your screen, but we can see it here. Sutherland with a brace or a wristband on, same as the catcher Scott. And they look over to the Cerro Coso dugout and get the pitch signal and then kind of look at the wristband, see what the pitch is, and go to work. So it eliminates signs, and it's something you see a lot in softball really now. It started to make its way further and further into the game of baseball. See it in high school baseball as well. Coaches will holler out a string of numbers. You look down at the wristband and figure out what pitch you want to throw. Is that one hit out into right field for a base hit? Is Camacho a little one-hopper past a diving Jimenez? And the leadoff runner aboard for COC here in the bottom half of the second inning. And it's interesting, the wristband thing. You actually look, and around the infield, the entire Cerro Coso infield has them along their belt as well, so they also know what pitch is coming. And it kind of helps set the defense, make sure they know where to kind of be ready to go. They burned them that last time, though, as Camacho just a better job at the plate, a little line drive base hit. And then the first pitch to his brother hits him on the arm. So 2 runners aboard here on just a few pitches, and COC in business in the second.
Number 27, designated hitter.
So it'll bring Tafton Hensley back to the plate, and this is not the guy you want to face with the few runners on. Hensley very dangerous and can certainly do some damage here for COC now with 2 on and nobody out. So the first pitch to Hensley misses. It's this one in the air to right field. Drifting back is Dorr. He'll make the catch just in front of the wall. Tagging at second base is Jovan Camacho. He'll head to third easily, so it's a sacrifice fly ball for Tafton Hensley. And the first out here, the second inning.
Doyle Kane.
So 1 down for Doyle Kane and an RBI double in the first. Steps in now, facing Sutherland for the second time already today. Kane, first pitch swinging, hits it in the air to right field. Dorr with a play on it will try and fire to home. A one-hopper to the plate, gets away from the catcher Scott. Scoring from third is Jovan Camacho. Down to second base is Ryan Camacho. And the Cougars get one on a sacrifice fly ball from Doyle Kane. So back-to-back sacrifices, the Cougars move some runners around. Kane has his second RBI of the ball game, and COC has pushed the lead now to 3. At 4-1 with DJ Cougar coming to the plate with a runner in scoring position. So the Cougar offense that time playing it in a little bit calmer fashion instead of stringing together hits, stringing together deep fly balls out to right. It's a really good throw from Dorr. Had a chance to cut down Camacho at the plate. The ball beat him there, but Scott just couldn't handle it. Was trying to make a sweep tag as I think he knew Jovan was going to slide around him to the outside. As it's just a tough play for the catcher all around. So COC will take it any way they can get it. And here comes DJ Cougar, who singled home a run back in the first inning. As that one hits him right in the middle of the back. So Cougar down. Second hit batter of the inning. He'll put runners on first and second here. As Camacho got hit in the arm. Cougar that time right in the middle of the back, right between the numbers. And DJ takes a beating behind the dish. Doesn't help when he gets hit when he's at the plate too. But he'll take it any way he can get it. And Andy Ambrose will step in. Singled and was stranded back in the first inning. Pitch misses up. Amber is a very dangerous hitter as well. 2 balls and no strikes here to Ambrose. That one gets over for a strike. It'll make it 3 balls and 1 strike. So Ambrose very patient. Takes that one on the outer half for a strike. So the count will be full. It'll put the runners in motion. 3-2 pitch upcoming. 2 away here in the second inning. And Ryan Camacho and DJ Cougar will get a head start here. Both leave. This one lifted in the air to right. Should be playable for Dorr. Spins around, finds it, makes the catch. So 3 fly balls out to right field. 1 run does come across. COC takes a 3-run lead into the third inning here from Cougar Field. We'll step aside. More action when we come back. College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
We go to the third, 4-1 in favor of COC. Take a look at the brackets right now. Talk about COC and Cerro Coso being 16 and 17. That's kind of the second set of the play-in games. Southwestern and LA Valley, the 15-18 game going on right now as well. 2 teams we've seen this year. And for COC and Cerro Coso, the winner of this game will either get Saddleback or Glendale, depending on who wins that Southwestern LA Valley game. If Southwestern wins, the winner of this one gets number 2 Glendale. If Southwestern loses, LA Valley comes up with a win. The winner of this game would get the number 1 team in the state. Or, sorry, let's redo that. If LA Valley wins, the winner of this game will get Glendale. If Southwestern wins, the winner of this game will get the number 1 team in the bracket in Saddleback. And you look at Saddleback and Glendale this year, when we talk about the rankings this season, alone the number 1 seed, 30-2 on the years. This one hit back up the middle, going to be a tough play for Ballesteros. And a base hit for Holzim to lead things off here in the third inning. So 3 straight innings that Whiting has allowed a leadoff single, and now we'll have to work with traffic on. Talk about the rest of the rankings this year. Like we said, all alone, 12 first place votes this year, 30-2 on the season. Far and away the best record in the state of California. Saddleback and Glendale 2-3, 24-8 and 26-5 respectively. Glendale did get 1 first place vote. LA Valley actually climbed their way into the top 25. They were 23rd in the state this year in terms of the rankings at the end of the year. It's interesting, COC, Glendale, and LA Valley, all 3 teams in the Western States Conference Southern Division making the playoffs. And I believe when we look down the line, the only conference or division with 3 teams in the playoffs this year. As everybody else with 2. By the way, first pitch right about 2 o'clock today. Temperature 79 degrees. It's absolutely beautiful out here in Santa Clarita today. Strike 3 called on McHenry. First strikeout of the ball game as Whiting gets a big K. 1 down here. And Danny Jimenez, who doubled home a run back in the first, will step in. Talking about the temperature, 79 degrees as we said. Absolutely beautiful at first pitch. Not a lot of wind to speak of. Sunny and warm, a beautiful spring day here on the 3rd day of May. And a little bit of a warm-up trend right now here in Southern California. If you're living anywhere else, we apologize, but that's usually what we get. Pretty beautiful weather, about 300 days out of the year. Wind today, not much of it, 3 miles an hour, almost 5. Should gust up to about 10 later in the day as we get on the 5 and 6 o'clock hour. Out of the south today. And that'll certainly help the hitters as the wind gusts pick up later in the ball game. It's 3 balls and no strikes to count here to Jimenez. Whiting being very careful with him. As we wait on a 3-0 pitch with a runner at first base in Holzim. That pitch misses down, and Whiting issues a walk. Second walk of the day issued by Whiting, as he was careful with Jimenez, who doubled off him last time. And it'll bring Brett Olmo back to the plate. Olmo grounded to first last time up. There's 1 down and 2 on. Whiting has missed 5 straight pitches. And it's interesting because no more Malachi Carell out there warming up. Now he's starting to make his way back out there. Actually see Xavier Stoker out there trying to loosen up his arm. I think Carell forced to get himself back to work here again as Whiting finds himself in a bit of trouble here in the 3rd inning. That one over for a called strike. Evens the count at 1-1. First strike back in the last 6 pitches for Whiting. Olmo grounded to first last time up. Big spot for him here off the left side of the plate. Infield at double play depth. Kane not holding the runner at first base. This one a one-hopper. Ballesteros picks it up. Second for 1. Kane on to first to his brother for a double play to end the inning. And the defense showing out here early on for COC. Ballesteros with a nice pick on a one-hopper from Olmo. Scoops it to second to get Jimenez. Mikey Kane finishes it off to Doyle to first. And that'll end the inning. A 4-6-3 double play. Yeah, Cerro Coso has left 5 on to the ball game. We head to the home half of the 3rd, 4-1 COC.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
The new media journalism program focuses on hands-on training for up-and-coming multimedia journalists.
We do shows every 2 weeks, and students put together their own stories. They go out and shoot them, they do the voiceover, they edit them together. It's a really, really cool hands-on experience.
If you want to dive right into the world of journalism, this is the only place to do it.
Pitching change for Cerro Coso here in the 3rd, so a short leash for Peyton Sutherland. He's done after 2 innings, gives up 4 runs. And Robert Rosado will come in to take over. His 11 appearances on the regular season, went 1-1 with a 5.48 ERA. 21 and a 3rd innings pitched, struck out 18, walked 10, gave up 13 earned runs on 26 hits. As he will take over. So Rosado taking over. Sutherland, the book closed on him after 2 innings, gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. All 4 of the runs earned. Didn't walk anybody, but did hit 2 batters. And didn't record a strikeout. As Mikey Kane will step in to lead things off for COC here in their half of the 3rd inning with a 3-run lead. Rosado's pitch misses down. Count is even at 1-1. Mikey 0 for 1. Flew out to center field in his first at bat back in the first inning. Kane takes that pitch up and away. So interesting for Justice Scott. A short leash today for his starter. Trying to keep the Cougar lineup off balance, which has been very good this year, especially the deeper they get into bullpens. As the count 3-1 to Mikey Kane. And he'll work a 5-pitch walk. So an auspicious start for Rosado. Walks the first batter he faces. And Alex Ballesteros, who singled home a run back in the first inning, stepping in. Look at the Cougars' offense at home this year. It's been quite a bit better at Cougar Field than it has been away from Cougar Field. 323 as a team average here at home with a 415 on base percentage and a 525 slugging percentage. 22 of their 36 stolen bases as a unit this year have all come here at home. They've only been caught twice, so pretty good stolen base percentage at home. The strikeouts have been higher, the walks just a little bit higher, but right about even in both those categories. The difference really has been the home runs and the runs batted in for COC here at Cougar Field. As this one chopped back up the middle. Going to be a tough double play ball, but it's going to be a double play ball as McHenry does it himself. Kept his foot on the second base bag and was able to collect the ball before Kane could slide into second and quickly fired over to first. So a 6-3 double play, 2 quick outs here in the home half of the third inning, and Rowan Turan will step in. So the third double play of the ball game, first to go against the Cougars. And after Rosado walked Kane on 5 pitches, gets Ballesteros to chop out on just 2 and gets 2 quick outs out of it. Talking about the COC offense at home, 32 of their home runs this year have come here at Cougar Field. They've driven in 144 runs. That's compared to just 11 and 105 on the road. And if you talk about the 2 neutral site games, it's a little bit closer, 13 home runs when you talk about away from Whitten Field. And the RBIs go all the way up to 136. But the offense really clicking here at Cougar Field this year. As Turan gets things restarted for COC with a 2-out walk. Second walk of the inning issued by Rosado. For COC, the first part of the year was a little bit tough. January, they only scored 7 runs. There's now a visit to the mound to talk to Rosado. Here's Justice Scott walking out. And I wonder if that's going to end the day, as Rosado has looked a little less than comfortable. And I think it's just a conversation to say, all right, you okay? Let's get going here. You've walked 2 guys. You've got good stuff when you throw pitches over the plate and make the other team hit it. As now he'll face Jovan Camacho, who singled and scored back in the second inning. Talking about the offense for COC, January and February were very tough months. A little lean for the Cougars this year. No home runs, 7 runs batted in their 2 games in January, so it's a small sample size. In February, during their 11 games, they only drove in 68 runs. Compare that to March and April, where in 13 games in each of those months, they drove in 97 and 108 runs. So the bulk of their runs coming over the final 2 months of the season for COC. The offense has really picked up late. 34 of their home runs coming over the last 2 months of the season as well, with 20 coming in April. 108 of those runs coming in April as well. And 156 of their team hits this year. Their team 426 hits coming in the month of April as well. So trying to spin that April into May and go on a little bit of a run here. As Camacho swings and lines this one softly out to left field for a 2-out single. It'll put runners on first and second. And back to the top of the order we go with Ryan Camacho coming up. So Jovan with 2 hits in the ball game, both singles. And his brother Ryan will try and keep a 2-out rally going with 2 on here in the 3rd inning.
Left fielder Ryan Camacho.
A little crowd has turned out here today. Some of the Cerro Coso faithful have driven up from the IE and found their way out here, sitting down the right field line on the grass. Some of the Cougar football team has made its way here as well, trying to show their support for their brothers in arms. As Ryan, who took one off the arm last time up, steps in and almost takes another one off the arm. Ryan likes to stand real tight to the plate, so that's why he gets hit by a lot of pitches. Look at the numbers for Ryan Camacho this year. In terms of hit by pitches this year, he's been hit 8 times. The only guy to get hit more during the regular season was DJ Cougar. He got hit 11 times, and each of them have been plunked today. Cougars as a unit this year were hit by 62 pitches. Unfortunately, their pitching staff hit 65 guys themselves, so it's just been part of the show this year for COC. As it's 2 balls and no strikes here to Ryan Camacho with 2 down and 2 on here in the 3rd inning in a 4-1 ball game. As Camacho waits on the pitch from Rosado and takes a called strike, makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. Good little turnout here online. We thank you for joining us today here at Cougar Field. Playoff game, play-in round. Winner will either get the 1-seed Saddleback or the 2-seed Glendale, depending on the outcome of the other play-in game, as this one fouled straight back to the screen, makes it 2-2. I'll try and take a look and see if we can get you an update on the bracket, update on the scoreboard today. It's a pretty light scoreboard, as we said, just 2 games. This one and the LA Valley Southwestern game. Actually, there's some games up north as well. Come for 4 games total. Sequoias and Martin, Monterey Ponenza, and West Valley also playing. No score between Southwestern and LA Valley in the bottom of the 3rd, according to the state website, as it's 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. So the runners will get a head start, and it's a payoff pitch upcoming to Ryan Camacho. As Turan at second, Jovan at first. Both will be put in motion on the Rosado pitch. As long as he delivers to the plate, he does. The pitch misses down and away. It's a 2-out walk, and it'll load the bases up for COC. So Camacho very patient up there, took his time. 3rd walk of the inning issued by Rosado. And Tafton Hensley will come to the plate with the bases loaded. We've already talked about Tafton not being a guy you want to face with runners on. Last time up had a sacrifice fly ball. The time before that, doubled to start the hitting off for the Cougars back in the 1st inning. As he swings at the first pitch, hits a little nubber off the end of the barrel of the bat. Lopez dropped it, picked it up, able to get him a step ahead. And you dodge a bullet with Tafton Hensley as he hits one off the end of the bat with the bases loaded. The Cougars leave 3 on here in the 3rd, but they have a 3-run lead as we head to the 4th here from Cougar Field. College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
If our turkey had a resume, it would say it's 99% fat-free, filler-free, and raised without antibiotics. But our turkey already has its dream job at Jersey Mike's. Premium meat makes a sub above.
Cougars have left 7 on in the ballgame. Cerro Coso's left 4. COC with a 4-1 lead as we head to the 4th inning. As Brandon Whiting back out for the fourth, so he's extended his game a little bit longer than maybe it looked like early on. As he's given up leadoff singles in each of the first 3 innings, he'll face Bagshaw, Scott, and Lopez here in the fourth. Bagshaw with the leadoff single last time to the plate, back in the second inning, facing Whiting here. Bagshaw, .299 during the regular season, had 44 hits, scored 40 runs. Talked about Cerro Coso's offense being very good, nearly matching just about everything that you can see from COC. The slugging percentage, 11th best in the state at .475. The average, 10th best at .322 as a unit this year. They've been extremely impressive on the offensive side. But the difference for them really has been, same as COC, the offense has been much better at home than it is on the road. Although it's been pretty good on the road, as this one lifted in the air towards left field. An easy play on a lazy fly ball for Ryan Camacho, one away. Talk about the offensive numbers for the Coyotes this year. .359 as a group at home. Just .300 on the road, and the big discrepancy has been strikeouts. 172 strikeouts on the road this year in true road games, compared to just 99 in home games this season. They've been even in the home runs and the triples category, 8 and 15 respectively. 8 triples, 15 home runs, both home and away this year. They've actually driven in more runs on the road. The problem has been the pitching on the road has not quite been as good, and really it's been bad on both sides of the event, with the ERA up over 7, but it's at 781, and they've given up 30 more runs on the road, earned runs that is, than they have at home this year. And much like COC, the pitching staff has been a bit of a head scratcher for Cerro Coso this year. The offense certainly has been able to keep up with just about anybody, as the count 2-2 here to Brooks Scott, who flew out to center field in his last at bat. Look over their first 3 games against Porterville, Imperial, and Imperial Valley. They scored 44 runs in those 3 games, as this one lifted back of second base, and Ballesteros not going to be able to make the play, drifting back. And it was kind of in that no man's land triangle, and it's a fly ball single for Brooks Scott, as a tough play for Ballesteros, trying to shield his way from the sun. Couldn't make the catch, and Scott is on with 1 down here in the fourth. Dominic Lopez singled his last time up, stepping in. So you talk about they scored 43 runs over their first 3 games. Went quiet over their next 2 with just 8. But you look for Cerro Coso. Before March 24th, had 12 games where they scored 10 or more runs, as that one popped up. And the play made out in right field by Tafton Hensley. So Boshenzak will step in with 2 away. He flew out to center field his last time up. So you're talking about 14 times, 15, trying to do the math real quick. 18 games this year where they scored 10 or more runs. It's just been a slugfest for the Cerro Coso offense, which you expect this game to be a little bit more high scoring. Right now, just a 4-1 ball game. It's 2 down here in the 4th inning. Shenzak flew out to center field his last time up, swings and misses, and count is even at 1-1. So credit Whiting has hung tough after giving up leadoff singles in the first 3. He's faced runners on in each of the 4 innings he's pitched in so far. As this one lifted in the air towards shallow right field. Turan, actually, not Hensley, out in right field, makes the catch. Back-to-back fly balls to right, and that will end the inning. So Whiting, a cleaner inning that time, did give up a 1-out single, but gets the next 2 guys to fly out to right field. And at the end of 3.5, still 4-1 in favor of COC.
I love emergency medicine. You're there at these people's worst time of their life, and you're there to make it a little bit better. The EMT program at COC is a one-semester program. Over the course of it, the EMT students will learn the textbook knowledge they need, practical hands-on skills that they're going to need working out on an ambulance or in a hospital or whatever setting they decide to work.
People are constantly hiring. There's always a need for first responders. When I graduated from this program, I got a job within a month.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Home half of the fourth, Cougars will send the heart of the order and Doyle Kane, DJ Cougars, and Andy Ambrose to the plate. As Rosado stays out there for the fourth. Walked 3 in that third inning, gave up a single, but didn't allow any runs. Got Tafton Hensley to chop softly to second base. Dodged a bit of a bullet there. As he'll face Doyle Kane, who's doubled and sacrificed home runs today. 2 RBIs, 1 for 1. As he steps in to lead things off here in the fourth inning. Doyle has turned it on in the later part of the year. Early on, all the talk was about his brother Mikey, and rightfully so. Mikey, as we said, had a 15-plus game hitting streak, but Doyle lately has really been a hit machine. In his last 4 games, 5 games of the regular season, had 4 multi-hit games. 9 hits during those 5 games. Has hits in 13 of his last 14 games. I don't think he played against L.A. Pierce. From reports I heard, as he hits this one on a little chopper up the middle. The shortstop, McHenry, will pick it up on a couple of hops and fire it over to first to set down Doyle Kane for the first out here of the fourth inning.
Number 11, catcher DJ Cougars.
So we go to DJ Cougars. Cougars singled, hit by a pitch, drove in a run. 1 for 1 today. DJ, middle part of the year, missed 5 games in a row, but has since kind of slotted himself back in behind the dish. Went 3 for 3 in that 10-8 win against Bakersfield on the 29th. And has hits in 4 of his last 5 games. Coming into the playoffs, and has a hit already in the playoffs. Is that one over for a strike? Two balls and 1 strike, the count here to DJ Cougars. He takes that pitch away, makes it 3-1. Andy Amber is waiting in the on-deck circle. As Cougars hits this one in the air towards center field, playable for Olmo, who, standing right under it, Campt makes the catch at his chest, 2 down.
Number 15, third baseman Andy Ambrose.
So to bring up Andy Ambrose with 2 away. First time the Cougars have not had a base runner on early in an inning. In the first, they had a 1-out double from Tafton Hensley, part of a string of 4 straight hits to drive in a few runs. Part of a 3-run first. Second had a leadoff single from Jovan Camacho. He eventually came around to score. Leadoff walk from Mikey Kane last inning, but couldn't do much with it. Did leave the bases loaded. 2 down here for Ambrose. Takes that pitch down and makes it 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Andy Ambrose. Single back in the first. Flow out to right field to end the second as he hits a sharp line drive out to right field for a base hit. So Andy 2 for 3 today. And a 2-out single for COC as they try and get something going here in the 4th inning as Mikey Kane will step back in. Mikey 0 for 1, walked, was cut down in a double play ball back in the 3rd inning. Facing Rosado for the 2nd time already in as many innings. Mikey trying to get it going, and the Cougars would certainly like to have him rolling once again. Did ride a 4-game hitting streak into the end of the year. One point had a 19-game hitting streak. So that's why you talk about Mikey down in the lineup a little bit. Maybe fighting it just a bit more than you would like. For a time, Mikey, you couldn't get him out. I mean, he was a tough out. Talk about during that 19-game hitting streak. 9 multi-hit games during that streak. Didn't have a lot of RBIs, but was just finding a way day in and day out. So just about half of those games he had multiple hits. His count is even at 1-1 here to Mikey, with Ambrose leading away from first base. Rosado will deliver to the plate, and Mikey swings over an off-speed pitch and makes it 1-2. And that's kind of been some of the problem for Mikey late in the year. A little pressing a little bit more. Mikey headed to USC next year, so knowing this is his final chance with COC, maybe his final time playing with his brother, trying to put a little bit more pressure on himself to really carry the load for his team. And really, Mikey does so much more than just what he brings at the plate. It's such a good shortstop as this one hit in the air, playable in center field for Olmo, and that'll end the inning. So the Cougars go quietly here in the 4th, a 2-out single from Ambrose and nothing else. We head to the 5th inning. It's a 4-1 ball game. COC out in front over Cerro Coso.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
To the top of the 5th, leading off for Cerro Coso, number 10, right fielder Michael Dorr.
Top of the order do it for Cerro Coso here. Dorr, Holzum, and McHenry in the 5th. As Whiting staying out there, had his best inning of the ball game back in the 4th, so Chris Cota trying to let him go a little deeper. This one a one-hopper. Doyle Kane able to stab it and toss it to first. One away here in the 5th. Doyle Kane with a nice game at first base here so far. 3-1 on the first pitch of the 5th inning for the first out. As a diving stop from Doyle. On a one-hopper down the line from Dorr. And here comes Holzum, who's 1 for 1. Walked and singled. As this one hit in the air towards left field. Camacho drifting back. We'll have a play on it as the wind is kind of shifted and is blowing in. 2 pitches, 2 outs for Whiting.
Number 5, shortstop Johnny McHenry.
And it'll bring Johnny McHenry, who's grounded into a double play and struck out. And Whiting so far 2 for 2. Can he make it 3 for 3? Cerro Coso pressing a little bit here early on with the top of the order, trying to get after Whiting early in the count. And instead, this time, a pitch taken by McHenry as he tries to settle the team back down and get himself a 2-out base runner, takes a called strike. As McHenry hits this one in the air towards right center field, Turan drifting over. Not quite a 3-pitch inning, a 4-pitch inning, but 3 up, 3 down. Pretty good for Whiting. That's what you needed, a quick inning. And the Cougars coming back up here in the 5th with a 4-1 lead when we come back.
The restaurant and hotel business is the second largest industry in the state of California. Opportunities in such a vibrant career are a click away at College of the Canyons.
It teaches you how to work with people, how to motivate people, how to manage people, how to lead people. And those qualities are so in demand in whatever industry we choose to go into.
COC can get you started on a journey into hotel and restaurant management today.
We go to work in the home half of the 5th inning. COC will send Ballesteros, Turan, and Camacho to the plate to face Rosado, who continues out here in the 5th, his 3rd inning of work. He's given up just 2 hits in 2 innings so far. Did walk 3 back in his 1st inning in the 3rd. Second time through the order here.
Leading off for the Cougars.
Ballesteros grounded into a double play in the 3rd and singled homer run back in the 1st, 1 for 2. As he swings at the first pitch from Rosado and hits it off the end of the bat towards the Cerro Coso dugout. And the home half of the 5th underway. Ballesteros has had an interesting game out at second base. Had a ball go over the top of his head on a one-hopper. Don't see that very often. Then turned a slick double play a couple innings later. Missed one on a shallow fly ball he couldn't come up with that led to a single, but he's been active out there. Has a hit for his troubles at the plate as well, as he's behind in the count 1-2 as this one fouled off to the right towards the Cerro Coso bullpen. Bullpen's in play here at Cougar Field if you're joining us for the first time this year. The foul ground plentiful behind the dish and down the lines as that pitch misses away, makes the count 2-2. Up the first baseline, the foul ground actually cuts in a little bit at the Cerro Coso dugout and then rolls back into the bullpen. It's pretty much a straight line from there. And on the COC side of the field, the dugout actually is the inner part as this one hit on the ground towards third. Bagshaw picks it up on 3 hops and fires to first. 1 down here in the 5th inning.
Number 8, right fielder.
We're talking about the dugout actually interior to the bullpen, and then it cuts back and there's all sorts of extra room. The bullpen on the left field side, actually a 3-mound bullpen. There's a big old oak tree down the left field line as well that actually sits over the top of the fence out down the right field line in foul ground, and seen balls get hung up in there on foul balls. Plenty of room for the outfielders to play with on fly balls. Makes things a little bit interesting. She can get caught in some tough spots. As here's Turan, grounded to short and walked, 0 for 1 today. Turan has come on late in the year and worked his way into the lineup to where Chris Cota really hasn't had an option but to have him out there. Over the last 10 games that we have statistics for, had hits in each one of them, so a 10-game hitting streak to close out the year. Had 5 multi-hit games, including a 5-for-6 game against Fresno City on April 13th. Had a home run against Bakersfield the other day. Lifts this one down the line in left, drifting foul. And we'll do it again at 3-2. The home run against Bakersfield here on the 26th with the deep fly ball out to left center field. Actually went out into the parking lot. It was quite a poke from Rowan. His first home run of the year. And as we said, for a guy that was not in the lineup early in the year, somehow just worked his way in. Before March 25th, only played in 5 games as he hits this one foul down the left field line again. And we'll redo it at 3-2. But after that, starting on March 29th, has played in every game but one. Did not play against Glendale on April 5th in a 7-3 loss here at Cougar Field. But has found his way into the lineup. Didn't have any at-bats against West LA in 2 of the 3 games, but has just been in the lineup. This one softly hit towards short. McHenry picks it up on the roll and throws it over to first. 2 down here in the 5th inning. That'll bring us back to Jovan Camacho. Back-to-back singles and back-to-back at-bats for Camacho. 2 for 2 in the ball game today. Had a single against Sutherland in his final inning of work in the second. Greeted Rosado with a single in the 3rd inning. The runner on, and now tries to get something started with 2 away for the Cougars here in the 5th. Takes a called strike on the outer half. Camacho, another sharply hit ball out into right field. That'll get over the second baseman's head for a single. And Camacho 3 for 3 in the ball game. Just finds a way to get things going for COC. And with 2 down, his brother Ryan, who's 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch and walked, will step in. So the Camacho boys, as we said, just have been fixtures in the lineup, and a lot of it's due to their defense. The bats have, though, certainly helped out, have been a positive as the season has gone on, as Camacho hits this one in the air towards right field, playable in about straightaway left center. Sorry, I said right field, meant center field. And he flies out to end the 5th inning. So a 2-out single, nothing else. No runs, 1 hit, nobody, or 1 left on at the end of 5 full. 4-1 COC. Here from Cougar Field. College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and see.
I love emergency medicine. You're there at these people's worst time of their life, and you're there to make it a little bit better.
The EMT program at COC is a 1-semester program. Over the course of it, the EMT students will learn the textbook knowledge they need, practical hands-on skills that they're going to need working out on an ambulance or in a hospital or whatever setting they decide to work.
People are constantly hiring. There's always a need for first responders. When I graduated from this program, I got a job within a month.
Top half of the 6th we go. Jimenez, Olmo, and Bagshaw due up to face Whiting, fresh off his 4-pitch inning in the 5th. Working into the 6th here today. Trying to give the bullpen a bit of a break. Only twice has Whiting pitched through the 6th. Did it the other day against Bakersfield on the 26th in a 10-9 win. And in a 5-0 win against West LA back in March, did the same thing. As this one hit in the air towards left center field, should be playable for Jovan Camacho. A lazy fly ball, an easy catch, 1 down.
Number 27.
There's Brent Olmo, 0 for 2, grounded to first, grounded into a double play. Actually a sharply hit ball on the double play towards Ballesteros that he made a nifty little backhanded stab on. It was right at him. And turned a quick 4-6-3 double play. This one on the first pitch, hit on the ground towards Ballesteros. Takes his time, fires to first. 3 pitches, 2 outs. Pretty good for Whiting here in the 6th so far. as Bagshaw, who's singled and flown out to right field, stepping in. So Whiting has retired 5 straight on all of 7 pitches. This one hit on the ground towards second base by Esteros, make it another 4-pitch inning. So he's retired his last 6 on just 8 pitches. We go to the home half of the 6th. COC with a 4-1 lead here from Cougar Field.
Here at IQ, which stands for Institute for Culinary Education at College of the Canyons, we offer 3 certificates: a baking and pastry certificate, a culinary arts certificate, and a wine studies certificate, as well as an associate's degree in the culinary arts. We are an accelerated program, so you can finish between a year and a year and a half. We create a culinary community here at College of the Canyons.
If our turkey had a resume, it would say it's 99% fat-free, filler-free, and raised without antibiotics. But our turkey already has its dream job at Jersey Mike's. Premium meat makes a sub above.
Hensley, Kane, and Cougar scheduled to hit here for the Cougars in the 6th inning, as they've gotten 2 really fast innings from Brandon Whiting. And that's gotten him back to the plate to face Rosado here, who has to go back to work and face a tough spot in the order with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up. Cougars with a 4-1 lead. There's no runs on the board since the 3rd in this ball game. Cougars had 3 in the 1st and 1 in the 2nd. Have scored 4 runs on 9 hits in the ball game. Cerro Coso, their lone run coming back in the 1st. They've only gotten 6 hits in the ball game, none since the 4th. As Taft and Hensley stepping in. Cougars 9 hits, but have left 9 on the ball game. 3 of those left on in the 3rd by Taft and Hensley, as he left the bases loaded. As he swings through the first pitch from Rosado, swings through the second pitch on an off-speed pitch, and now finds himself in a deep hole at 0-2. So Rosado kind of a junk baller as well. We have not really seen anybody overpowering today. The Cougars really don't have anybody but Josh Yosfan that can really overpower hitters. Yosfan, a guy that we probably, I would imagine, see in the 7th or the 8th inning, maybe even the 9th. As he's pretty much the hardest throwing arm on the Cougar roster. But so far with Sutherland, Rosado, and Whiting, it's been a bunch of junk ballers. Nobody throwing really very hard, just crafty and finding spots, making it tough on opposing hitters. As the count 1-2 strikes here to Taft and Hensley, with nobody out in the 6th inning in a 4-1 ball game. COC in the lead. Winner will go on to face Saddleback or Glendale in a best-of-3 starting on Friday on the road. Be a tough series against either of those 2 teams, the 2nd and 3rd ranked teams in the state. This one hit deep to right field, and drifting back was Dorr lazily, and it just kept going back, but fell into his glove just in front of the right field wall. So Taft in a loud fly ball to right for the first out here the 6th inning. Doyle Kane doubled home a run back in the 1st, sacrificed home a run back in the 2nd, and grounded to short in the 4th. 1 for 2 in the ball game. Doyle has been a bit of an extra base hit machine this year, as he swings at the first pitch and lines a one-hopper past McHenry out into left field for a base hit. So Doyle, with his 2nd hit of the ball game, had 14 doubles to lead the squad during the regular season. He gets aboard with 1 away, and it'll bring us DJ Cougar with 1 down. Doyle 2 for 2 on the bases this year. Don't think he'll be in motion. COC not much of a running team. And especially with Cougar, Ambriz, and Kane coming up, would like to let the offense do the work. Cougar singled, hit by a pitch, and flew out to center field. So 1 for 2. And 0 for 1 against Rosado today. Takes the first pitch down for a ball, finds himself ahead at 1 ball and no strikes. Defense and double play depth, center outfield and straightaway depth. So keep an eye on Kane over at first base. Maybe the B move from Rosado that time as Kane back in standing up. Kane stays put. Cougar nearly gets hit, and he finds himself way ahead at 2-0. Remember, DJ, a guy that's been hit 11 times during the regular season. If you count the playoffs, now 12 times he's been hit by pitches this year. It's not enough that he gets beat up behind the dish. Gets beat up at the plate as well. So he waits on the 2-0 and nearly gets clipped again. Doyle way off the bag and was kind of standing there, and a fire down from Scott nearly got him, but the throw was a bit high, and Jimenez saved it from going out into right field. So 3 balls and no strikes to count here to DJ Cougar. Andy Ambrose waiting in the on-deck circle. Doyle with a short lead, not going anywhere. That ball skips away from the catcher, but it's a walk anyway. So it'll put runners on first and second with 1 away here in the 6th inning.
Number 15, third baseman, Andy.
4th walk issued in the ball game by Rosado, and Andy Ambrose, who singled in the 4th, singled in the 1st. This is 2 for 3 in the ball game, stepping in. Chance for Andy to try and extend the lead. Cougars would certainly like to put a couple more on the board here in the 6th inning. So we're getting into the late innings of the ball game, and a 3-run lead is slim as can be for a Cougar pitching staff that during the years had trouble at times and found themselves into some trouble late in the ball game this year. Ambrose goes to work behind the count, 0-1. 2 runners on here. Infield stays in double play depth. Jimenez actually in front of Cougar over at first. The middle infield shading towards the second base bag. Ambrose takes a breaking ball for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Remember, softball will be action on Friday on the road, taking on a very good Santiago Canyon squad that we've seen this year. Cougars have taken 1 from them during the regular season. The baseball team trying to get to the playoffs and get themselves on to Friday as Ambrose with a base hit out into left field, and that'll bring home a run. And the Cougars add 1 here in the 6th. An RBI single from Andy Ambrose, and that'll bring Mikey Kane to the plate with 1 down and 2 on.
Number 7, shortstop, Mikey Kane.
So here comes Mikey Kane. Kane 0 for 2 today. Flew out a couple of times to center field, but now hits with 2 on and 1 down. A chance to try and add to the COC lead, which is now 5-1 after the RBI single from Andy Ambrose just a few seconds ago. As Mikey swings, lines 1 down the left field line, foul. Mikey walked back in the 3rd. Would certainly like a chance to break through here and bust this game a little bit further open. As Cougar leads away from 2nd, Ambrose leading away from 1st. They actually shifted Jimenez behind Ambrose here with Kane at the plate. He's ahead in the count here, 2-1. Now way ahead here at 3-1. So now if you're Mikey, you're looking 1 pitch that you can drive. As As Rosado laboring here. He's given up a single to Kane, walked Cougar, gave up a single to Ambriz. Way behind here to Mikey Kane. And the 3-1 over for a strike, so it'll bring the count to full and a payoff pitch upcoming. So an important pitch in the ball game here in the 6th inning. Cougars have already added one. And Kane hits this one down the left field line, twisting foul, so we'll do it again. So 3-2 again, and Kane in off the hands, lifts it out to left and deep, back towards the wall. That'll get off the scoreboard for a 3-run home run for Mikey Kane, and the Cougars have busted it open here in the 6th. It didn't look like much off the bat. Somehow he got his hands inside of it and got under it enough to lift it off the scoreboard. And for Mikey Kane, his first home run of the postseason, drives in 3, and the Cougars now with a 7-run lead in the 6th inning. And I thought for sure that ball was in off the hands. I don't know how he muscled that one out, but he certainly did, and that'll end the day for Rosado. So we'll step aside, take a break. It's a 7-run lead for COC, 8-1, powered in part by the 3-run home run from Mikey Kane. College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
So a pitching change for Cerro Coso here in the 6th inning, pardon me. After the Mikey Kane 3-run home run, the Cougars touching up Rosado for 4 here in the inning. After they touched up Sutherland for 4 in the first 2 innings. Soto, 11 appearances during the regular season, went 2-2 in 22 innings pitched, gave up 5.73 earned runs per outing. Only gave up 14 earned runs on 28 hits, struck out 13 and walked 10. As they'll face Alex Ballesteros with 1 away, fresh off the Mikey Kane 3-run home run. And, I mean, honestly, folks, it's just a showcase as to why Mikey headed to USC next year. That ball off the bat, especially how far inside the pitch was, and it really was not a bad pitch from Rosado, other than maybe it was elevated just a bit, and Mikey just got his hands inside and muscled it off the scoreboard. Certainly a sight to behold, and it's a 3-run job that helps out the Cougars as Ballesteros fouls this one away. Evens the count at 1-1. This one hit in the air towards center field by Ballesteros. Olmo drifting back, will have to make a catch, running back over his left shoulder, leaping in the air. and takes away what might have been extra bases for Ballesteros. 2 down here in the 6th inning.
Number 8, right fielder Rowan Turan.
Here comes Rowan Turan, 0 for 2 today. Walked, grounded to short a couple of times. Stepping in. Cougars have extended the lead to 7. Just what the doctor ordered here in the 6th. And now you free up Chris Cota to let Brandon Whiting go back out if you'd like. Maybe see if you can save a pitching staff for Friday and Saturday. This one hit in the air by Turan towards right center field. Olmo drifting over. This time has an easier play on it. Will make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So Soto does his job, gets Cerro Coso back into the dugout, but COC with 4 in the 6th inning, thanks in part to a 3-run Mikey Kane home run. We head to the 7th, 8-1 COC.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Brooks Scott, Dominic Lopez, Casey Boschenzak, the scheduled hitters. As Whiting back out for the 7th inning. In the first pitch to Scott, lifted in the air towards left and deep, and that'll get out of the ballpark. A solo shot on the first pitch of the inning from Brooks Scott. And Cerro Coso trying to start something up. A solo home run, and I would imagine that gets somebody up in the COC bullpen very, very quickly. As after 8 pitches to get 6 outs, and 8 in a row retired, the first pitch here of the 7th inning is a solo job for Scott, who certainly has that power in him, had 7 home runs during the year. Cerro Coso gets one back after the 4-run 4th. And now Dominic Lopez stepping in. This one popped up in foul ground off the first base side, and actually Doyle Kane overruns it. Was trying to sprint back and look back over the top of his head and couldn't find it. So new life here for Lopez. Xavier Stoker up in the bullpen, getting loose for COC now. It's 2 balls and 1 strike here to Lopez. Good pitch from Whiting to get himself back into the count at 2-2. So we'll see how long the leash is here for Whiting. Is this one chopped towards third? Ambrose scoops it up on one hop. Takes his time and gets Lopez by a country mile just about. 1 down.
Number 25, left fielder Casey Boschenzak.
Boschenzak coming to the plate. Flew out a couple of times to center and right field. So he swings at the first pitch, hits it in the air on a line, and that's going to get by Ryan Camacho on one hop back to the wall. And Boshenzak going to try and take third on an errant throw, and he'll slide in safely. So a double and an error, Boshenzak into third. And Cerro Coso with the top of the order back around. So it's a base hit and an error. Compounding errors for Ryan Camacho out there in left field. And now Dorr coming to the plate with one down and a runner in scoring position, trying to chip away for Cerro Coso here in the seventh. Breaking ball over for a strike, evens the count at 1-1. Good pitch that time from Whiting. Makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. A big pinch here against Dorr in the seventh. This one lifted in the air towards left. Might be deep enough to score Boshenzak from third, but Camacho shows off a good arm and holds the runner at third base. So 2 down. A strong throw from Ryan Camacho.
Designated hitter Jackson Holzum.
And that maybe makes up for the error. And here comes Holzum, who singled, walked, and flew out to left with 2 down in the seventh. This one lifted in the air on the right side. Doyle Kane moving over towards the bullpen will make the catch. And Whiting with his longest outing of the season coming at a perfect time. He gets through 7, does give up the solo home run to lead off the 7th inning, but that is it. Stretch time here from Cougar Field. COC with an 8-2 lead.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Leading off for the Cougars, number 4, center fielder, Jovan Camacho.
Jovan Camacho, Ryan Camacho, and Tafton Hensley, the scheduled hitters for COC. As they face Soto here in the 7th inning. Cougars trying to restart something here in the 7th after the solo home run. They had 4 in the 6th and would like to re-add to the lead if possible, as it's back down to a 6-run lead. See if Whiting goes back out for the 8th. Outside of the first inning where he gave up a couple of hits, has really battled today and done a nice job. Gave up a single to lead off the game back in the first, and then an RBI double from Jimenez. Had 2 runners on in the second, 2 runners on in the third, but got ground balls and got out of the inning. Gave up a single in the fourth, then retired 8 straight before the solo home run from Scott. So really, he has not pitched bad at all. It's been a gem from him so far today. Just 7 hits allowed, 2 runs scored. As this one hit out into left field, and what do you know? Jovan Camacho 4 for 4 in the ball game. Going to try and stretch this to a double, and he does easily. Camacho around into second base. A leadoff double in COC. Something cooking already here in the 7th as Jovan continues to stay hot. 4 for 4 in the ball game.
Left fielder Ryan Camacho.
Here comes his brother Ryan, who's 0 for 2 today. Was hit by a pitch, walked, flew out, and grounded to short. That was a chance to try and trade places with Jovan and really get the Cougars going here. Late in the ball game, which has been kind of the strength of COC's offense. As Ryan with a base hit, they'll hold Jovan at third, and we'll put runners on the corners for the top of the order with Taft and Hensley coming up. So Ryan, his first hit of the ball game. Nobody out, and Taft and Hensley. So here's Taft and Hensley, doubled back in the first, does not have a hit since. 1 for 3 in the ball game. He hits this one in the air towards right center field. Should be playable for Dorr, but it'll score a run. Is easily coming home from third is Jovan Camacho, so Hensley does the job that's needed. The Cougars get the run back on a sacrifice RBI fly ball from Taft and Hensley here in the 7th inning. His first RBI of the ball game. 1 down, and here comes Doyle Kane. So Kane, who doubled, singled, drove in a couple of runs, 2 for 3 in the ball game today. Trying to keep the offensive train a-rolling for COC. One over for a strike. The count even at 1-1. Doyle swings over that one. This one fouled back to the screen, so we'll keep it at 1-2. This one hit on the ground. That'll get through on the right side for a base hit. And Camacho into third, and the ball gets away as Dorr trying to come up throwing, and Camacho is going to score. Kane gonna get to third, and he slides in safely. So Doyle Kane a base hit. Cerro Coso throwing the ball around a little bit, and the Cougars add another run. And Doyle Kane moves up to third with one down here in the 7th inning.
Number 11, catcher DJ Cougar.
So it's an unearned run, but you'll take it any way you can get it for COC. As Camacho comes around to score on the errant throw from Dorr that gets away back into the COC bullpen. And now you settle in with DJ Cougar, who's 1 for 2 today. Had a single and a run batted in back in the first. So it's an 8-run lead for COC in the 7th. The offense clicking on all cylinders once again here today, as they've done so often here at Cougar Field. And just continue to add, can add more on with just one down. Soto's struggling along here in the 7th. Gave up a leadoff double to Jovan Camacho, then Ryan with a single to put runners on the corners. Hensley sacrificed home Jovan with a fly ball to right. Then Kane with a single and an error from the right fielder Dorr. Able to bring home Ryan Camacho all the way around from first base. As Camacho was just trying to go first to third, and I think Dorr thought he had a chance to get him, and Camacho, I think, was about 2 steps ahead of it on the throw, and it skipped away from Bagshaw out into the COC bullpen, and that allowed Doyle Kane all the way around to third base. As Cougar takes a 3-0 pitch for a strike. As Cougar hits this one out towards left center field, and a great play out off the wall by Olmo to rob Cougar of what might have been a home run. Instead, it's just a sacrifice fly ball that drives in Doyle Kane. So Cougar will take it, I guess, his second RBI of the ball game on a great play by Olmo to take away extra bases. So 2 down, but COC adding on in the inning here, their 3rd run across. And now Andy Ambrose, who singled back a run in the 6th, or singled home a run back in the 6th, stepping in. So the offense, after quiet 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 4 in the 6th, 3 so far here in the 7th, nearly had 4. If not for a great play by the center fielder Olmo, making a leaping catch off the wall out in left center. And Ambrose now hitting with 2 away, and a 1-1 count. Ambrose lines this one down the left field line. So the count 3-2, payoff pitch upcoming. 2 down here in the 7th inning. It feels like to me that Whiting may go back out for the 7th inning, or the 8th inning, which would be his deepest outing of the year, already in his deepest outing of the season, going through 7. I think it might very well be the deepest outing of the year for any starter for the Cougars this season, as Ambrose works a walk. And it'll bring up Mikey Kane, who had the 3-run home run off of Rosado in the 6th. So another pitching change coming for Cerro Coso. We'll step aside. We'll have it for you when we come back. College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
So the pitching change coming here is Mikey Kane coming in to the plate. Will face Jacob Ortiz.
Number 7, shortstop Mikey Kane.
Ortiz comes in the 7th with 2 outs and 1 inherited runner on in Andy Ambriz. Soto comes in the 6th, gets 2 outs, goes an inning and a third, gives up 3 runs so far, and was responsible for 1 more out there. Mikey, the 3-run home run, is 1 for 3 today. As he faces Ortiz, who has a .643 earned run average in 11 appearances during the regular season. 2-1 is the record. 28 innings pitched, gave up 28 hits and 20 runs, struck out 24 and walked 21. 1 ball and 1 strike to count here to Mikey Kane. Amber is leading away from first base with 2 down here in the 7th inning. And Mikey with a sharp single out into center field. So the Cougars now with 2 on and 2 out in the 7th inning. Mikey back-to-back hits. And Alex Ballesteros, who's 1 for 4 today, coming in.
Number 12, second baseman Alex Ballesteros.
Ballesteros, first pitch swinging, pops it up out into right field. Dorr, shading his eyes from the sun, will make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So the Cougars leave 2 on here in the 7th, but they get 3. We head to the 8th inning. COC with an 11-2 lead, and Brandon Whiting trotting back out to go back to the mound.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
I love emergency medicine. You're there at these people's worst time of their life, and you're there to make it a little bit better.
The EMT program at COC is a 1-semester program. Over the course of it, the EMT students will learn the textbook knowledge they need, practical hands-on skills that they're going to need working out on an ambulance or in a hospital or whatever setting they decide to work.
People are constantly hiring. There's always a need for first responders. When I graduated from this program, I got a job within a month.
So we go to the 8th here. COC with an 11-2 lead, and Brandon Whiting back out there, and Whiting having a heck of a week so far. Played on Saturday, actually hit on Saturday against L.A. Pierce in that game COC played. The final regular season game. Hit a home run, had 4 runs batted in the ball game. Comes back here today, and he's pitched wonderfully through 7 as he'll face McHenry, Jimenez, and Olmo here in the 8th inning, his longest outing of the year, and I want to say maybe the longest outing of the season for a Cougars starter, as Jesse Munoz, our SID, nodding his head in agreement, has a huge cut for McHenry, swings and misses, and the count at 2-1, or yeah, 2 balls and 1 strike. Out of town scoreboard, LA Valley leading 3-2 in the top of the 7th over Southwestern. Monterey Peninsula leading West Valley 5-1 on the road, and Martin leading Sequoias 3-1 on the road. So the only home team in front right now, COC, and a big lead at 11-2. As it's 2 balls and 2 strikes here to McHenry, who's 0 for 3 so far today. Whiting has fooled him a bit. It was the 4th time through the order for Cerro Coso, and this one a one-hopper that gets by Ballesteros. And a leadoff single here for McHenry. And Malachi Corral up in the bullpen getting loose. So leadoff runner aboard for Cerro Coso, as Danny Jimenez, who doubled the home run back in the 1st, coming to the plate for the 4th time today. Hard hit ball, the first, maybe the 3rd really hard hit ball against Whiting today. The double from Jimenez was struck well. The home run from Brooks Scott, obviously, shot out to left field, and that one a sharp single that Ballesteros got a glove on but just couldn't handle, as sharply hit. And so Whiting now working with traffic on. And really it's been a heck of a performance from him, and the breaking ball has really been what's worked for him today. He's thrown it in a lot of big spots and has found the strike zone often with it. Comes with the breaking ball again that just misses. Really, you can't ask for much more than what you've gotten out of Whiting today. As we said, the home run, 4 runs batted in against Pierce the other day. And remember, this is a guy that hasn't hit a lot this year. He's got the ability to play the positions, play some positions and hit, but has really been used as a hitter. And now, or as a pitcher so far this year. Comes back today and has been wonderful, but now finds himself in some trouble with a single and a walk to open the inning. So 2 on for Cerro Coso.
Center fielder, Brent Olmo.
And that's going to bring Chris Cota out, and I think that might end the day for Brandon Whiting, who flips the ball around, drops it on the mound, kind of happy with himself in the performance today, goes 7 strong. Cota comes out, has a conversation with him, actually sweeps some dirt away, and I don't know if Chris Cota's going to take the ball from him here quite yet. Wait and see. And it looks like he's just going to hand the ball to Malachi Corral, and that's going to end it for Brandon Whiting. But a good day for Brandon Whiting. Goes 7 strong. We'll leave with 2 runners on here in the 8th inning. The Cougars with an 11-2 lead. And we'll have the full pitching change for you when we come back.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
So it'll be Malachi Carell here in the 8th inning with 2 on, going to work. As he takes over for Brandon Whiting, who had a heck of a ball game. 7 innings pitched, gave up 9 hits, walked 3, struck out 1. He's responsible for 2 more out there, but through 7 only allowed 2 runs. And so Carell will come in to try and clean things up for COC. Malachi this year has been crafty on the rubber and has been used a lot late in the year. The ERA 15.93. He's appeared in 12 regular season games, 1 and 2, but he got better as the season went on. Early on in the year, got beat up a little bit by some really good teams in the state, including Saddleback. As he pitches here, this one hit out into center field by Olmo, and that's a base hit, so it'll load the bases up. So a good start for Cerro Coso here in the 8th inning. Looks like Xavier Stoker up in the bullpen for COC getting loose. I think Josh Yosfan walked out there as well as he kind of marches around. See who else for COC maybe starts to move. As you do have a nice little lead here. At a 9-run lead, but it can certainly get back to close in a hurry as Carell comes with a strike. As Carell misses on a breaking ball that time, makes it 1-1. As he faces Bagshaw, who singled back in the 2nd. Now Carell misses away, and we'll see how long the rope is for Carell here. You don't want to let Cerro Coso get anything working. They have the bases loaded here in the 8th inning as that one fouled away, and the count now 2-2. Nobody out here in the 8th. Leadoff single from McHenry, a walk to Jimenez, and then Olmo with a single out into center field to load the bases up. Off Carell, the first batter he faced in the ball game. This one fouled straight back once again. So we stay at 2-2. So this one hit out into left field for a base hit. Station to station goes Cerro Coso. They chip away with a run. 3 hits in the inning, an RBI single for Bagshaw, his 2nd hit of the ball game.
Number 2, catcher Brooks Scott.
And it'll bring Brooks Scott back to the plate. So Carell now facing Scott, who had the home run back in the 7th. Swings through a pitch elevated in the zone and finds himself behind in the count at 0-1. Still nobody out here in the 8th inning. You don't want to let Cerro Coso get too much going here. So This one fouled back. Good pitch from Correll on a breaking ball. Makes it 0-2 here to Scott. Certainly take a punch out or a soft ground ball, soft fly ball somewhere. So you want to limit the damage as much as you can. The offense has been clicking though, and you know COC may be thinking that they can just come right back and do it again as they start with Turan as we look ahead to the next half inning. Good pitch from Correll. Sits down Scott on strikes. First out here in the 8th inning. And Correll crafty there, staying around the zone.
Number 28, second baseman.
First strikeout for Correll. Just the second strikeout of the ball game. And Dominic Lopez will step in with the bases loaded and one down here in the 8th inning. Lopez 1 for 3 in the ball game. Correll overthrows a bit on that one. Cougar keeps it in front. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out here in the 8th inning. 11-3 COC. So this one hit in the air towards center field. Camacho going back towards the wall will make the catch just in front of the wall. Steep enough to score a run. Cougars nearly throw it into their own dugout. Mikey Kane, a little rushed throw. So it's a sacrifice fly ball. It'll put runners on the corners. On RBI for Dominic Lopez. Cuts the lead down to 11-4. But 2 down here in the inning.
25, left fielder Casey Bochenzak.
As Bochenzak coming in. So 2 runs across. A couple more sitting out there for Bochenzak, as Correll has gotten 2 of the outs required to get out of the 8th inning without too much damage. Those 2 runs both charged to Whiting, so it puts a little bit of a blemish on his day. 4 earned runs allowed in the ball game, but still, I mean, take nothing away from Brandon Whiting. Pitched absolutely wonderfully today, as now Correll tries to get the Cougars back into hit. First pitch to Bochenzak misses. 1 ball and no strikes the count. So this one hit foul off to the right. We'll even the count at 1-1. I think Josh Yosfan out there getting loose as well for COC. Good pitch from Correll that time. Bochenzak fouls it into the glove of DJ Cougar. Makes it 1-2. So both Stoker and Yosfan, who we would expect to see in a closeout situation, coming and getting loose out in the bullpen. As the 1-2 pitch from Correll misses well off the plate on the outer half. Makes it 2-2. Bochenzak reaches, grounds it to first. Doyle Kane knocks it down, steps on first, and that'll end the 8th inning. 2 runs across for Cerro Coso, but Malachi Correll gets 3 outs, only gives up the 2 that are charged to Whiting. We go to the home half of the 8th inning, 11-4 COC. College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now. Eighth inning we go. Ortiz back out there for Cerro Coso. He'll face Turan, Camacho, and Camacho. In the 8th, COC leading 11-4. Certainly like to add a few for the Cougars here. We'll see if Malachi Carell comes back out for the ninth. If he does, I would imagine both Xavier Stoker and Josh Yosfan go back to the bullpen right away and be ready to go, as you don't want to let things slip at all. But if you can get through the game without using two of your big weapons out of the pen, you would certainly like to. As Turan, who's walked, grounded out a couple of times, lines right into the glove of the third baseman Bagshaw on the first pitch, one down.
Number 4, center fielder Jovan Camacho.
So one down, and Jovan Camacho, who's been unstoppable today at the plate, 4 for 4 with 3 singles, a double, and 2 runs scored, steps in with one down here in the 8th inning. Looking ahead for Cerro Coso in the ninth, they go to the top of the order. Dorr, Holzum, and McHenry, the scheduled hitters. So start afresh against a fresh pitcher. As Camacho checks his swing, the count 2 balls and no strikes here. Looks like Stoker back up in the bullpen, so it might be his ninth. As we work still here in the 8th with one down, Camacho takes a strike, makes it 3-1, or 2-1, sorry. Ortiz loses a breaking ball there, makes it 3-1. Camacho works a walk. So Ryan's been on 5 times today. Jovan, excuse me, has been on 5 times today. Works a 1-out walk.
Number 2, left fielder
First
Ryan
walk issued by Ortiz, and now Ryan Camacho stepping in. Singled, hit by a pitch, walked, grounded out, and flew out. 1 for 3 today, takes a called strike. Camacho swings and lines this one down the left field line. Foul, so we'll go at 0-2. So 0-2 here to Ryan. Waits and takes the pitch up. Makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes. COC 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th. For 11 runs on 15 hits so far in the ball game. Cerro Coso 1 in the first, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. 4 runs on 11 hits for them in the ball game. Two balls and 2 strikes here to Ryan Camacho, down on strikes. First strikeout of the day for Ortiz. First strikeout of the ball game for Cerro Coso. As the Cougars have done a good job at staying out of the strikeout. Lo and behold, Ryan Camacho strikes out for the first time today for Cougar, and for the 47th time this season. Had 46 of those in the regular season. And here's Tafton Hensley. Doubled, sacrificed fly balls a couple of times. 1 for 3 today. Drove in a run back in the 7th as he hits with 2 down. Jovan Camacho over at first base. The 0-1 nearly hits Tafton. Has to shy away from it. Count even at 1-1. Taft. 14 home runs on the year. Might be 15. We're waiting on official word, but has had a heck of a season as the count 1-2. Take us a strike he didn't like. But it's a strike nonetheless, so we'll go back to work. So he's at first in the state in home runs this year in 15 with 15. It's either 14 or it's 15 depending on where you look. Might be missing one from the game against Pierce that just got entered yesterday, so 2-2 count with 2 down and a runner at first base. As Ortiz working to Hensley here. And Hensley gets that one off the fingers. And it's strike 3 as it never touched the bat. It got him in the arm or the hands, so Hensley down on strikes, back-to-back strikeouts for Ortiz. And that will end the 8th inning, so a weird way to end the 8th. We go to the 9th. COC will send Xavier Stoker out to try and finish it off, 11-4 Cougars.
College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
So Chris Cotto will call on Xavier Stoker to try and finish this one off in the 9th inning. Stoker has appeared in 27 games this year during the regular season, far and away the leader in appearances. 3-3 with a 756 earned run average and 33 1/3 innings pitched. Has run into some trouble with the walks later in the year. Early in the year was the guy. And now we'll try and come in and finish this off here in the 9th. As he faces Dorr, Holzum, and McHenry. Trying to get the Cougars on into the first round of the playoffs and win their play-in game. Certainly in a good spot to do it, leading 11-4 as we go to the 9th. Dorr, single back in the first, is 1 for 4 today, and nearly gets hit on the first pitch. It comes inside, goes off Cougars' glove, hits the home plate umpire Bob Williams, and we'll reset. Remember the opening round of the 3C2A staked regional baseball playoffs starting again on Friday. Best 2 out of 3. Single game on Friday, double game on Saturday. Winners will advance to round 2. Top 8 teams down to what is considered the second round of the regionals. This one chopped foul makes it 2-1. I believe second round not quite considered a super regional, as they will have super regionals after that as they play down to 4. This one fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count here to Dorr. This one hit right back up the middle, and Stoker having to duck. Nearly takes it off the skull. And instead it's a leadoff single here for Dorr, his second hit of the ball game. Cerro Coso with the leadoff runner aboard.
Number 17, designated hitter Jackson Holsom.
Here's Jackson Holsom. Singled, flew out to center field, popped out to first and walked. 1 for 3 today. As he faces Stoker with a runner on. Stoker has kind of been all over the place here early on. Fell behind 2-0 to Dorr. Got himself back in the count at 2-2, but gave up the sharp single. Falls behind here on the first pitch to Holsom. Now comes in this one, hit right back up the box again. Back-to-back singles to open the 9th inning. And now you bring in McHenry, who's
Johnny McHenry,
the biggest bat in the Cerro Coso lineup this year. Hit .415 on the regular season, had a single in the 8th inning. It's just 1 for 4 in the ball game, but certainly a guy that can make things difficult on you here in the 9th. As we'll see if any movement goes on in the COC bullpen. As Stoker finds himself in early trouble here, giving up back-to-back sharp singles to the top of the order. That one over for a strike. And so Stoker gets himself ahead. Stoker picked up the win in his last outing over Pierce. But before that, picked up the loss against Bakersfield, a 4-3 loss. Gave up a run late in the ball game. It's been kind of up and down. Gave up 3 runs against Fresno City in a 22-7 win. Gave up 2 in a 14-8 win over Citrus. Gave up 1 against Bakersfield in that 4-3 loss, and actually picked up the loss. Gets himself ahead in the count at 0-2. But 3 of his last 6, he hasn't allowed a run. So, only reason he didn't pick up a win in the Citrus game is he didn't record an out. It was actually the pitcher of record in that game had he picked up an out. Instead, it went to Josh Yosfan. So this one fouled off into foul ground. Long run for Ambrose, and he makes a nice catch right by the bullpen plate. A huge play from Andy Ambrose for the first out here in the 9th inning.
Number 13, first baseman Danny Jimenez.
That was a heck of a play from Ambrose. Had to go a long way with plenty of speed to chase that one down. Credit the bullpen catcher getting out of the way as well for COC, so Ambrose didn't truck him. And a big first out here in the 9th inning as now Danny Jimenez steps in. So 1 down. Jimenez doubled home a run back in the first, walked and scored. As this one hit on the ground by Esteros, knocks it down on 1 hop to Kane for 1. On to Kane at first, and a game-ending double play, and the Cougars have moved on, and they will move into the play-in round. Now it's just a matter of who they will play. They take an 11-3 win over Cerro Coso. As they get powered by the offense, Stoker gets a 4-6-3 double play to end the ball game. 3rd double play of the ball game for COC. Brandon Whiting, absolutely impressive in his outing. Goes out, pitches 7, gives up 4, gets the win. The Cougars waiting on LA Valley, who's leading Southwestern 4-2, so maybe a date with Glendale on the schedule. The final numbers, COC 11 runs, 16 hits, and an error. Cerro Coso 4 runs on 11 hits and an error. COC gets the win as they take it 11-4 and they move on in the state playoffs. A date with either Glendale or Saddleback. We thank you for joining us all season long here on the Cougar Sports Network. We appreciate it. We really enjoy having you along. We hope you enjoy having us out here as well. And we hope to see you maybe later on in the year if some things break right. But if not, we thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a great rest of your summer. Enjoy the rest of the baseball and softball playoffs, everybody. Signing off from Cougar Field, I'm Matt Robinson. Have a good one.